Now we are going to talk about introduction. Environmental pollution has become a major global concern due to rapid industrialization, urbanization, and increasing anthropogenic activities. Various pollutants, including heavy metal, airborne particulate matter, and industrial waste have caused significant deterioration of environmental quality and pose risks to human health and ecosystem. Consequently, the development of effective pollution treatment and monitoring strategies has become an important area of environmental research. Advanced analytical techniques play a crucial role in understanding pollutant characteristics and evaluating the effectiveness of treatment process. Among these techniques, scanning electron microscopy (SEM) has emerged as a powerful tool because of its ability to provide high-resolution image and detailed information on surface morphology, particle size, and microstructural properties of materials. SEM enables research to examine pollutants at the microscopic level and investigate the interaction between contaminants and treatment materials. SEM is widely applied in environmental pollution treatment to assess biosolvents and remediation methods for contaminant removal. Agriculture waste such as peanut shell and banana peels can absorb heavy metals, with SEM revealing surface change and confirming metal absorption. It is also used in air pollution studies to characterize particulate matter and heavy metal particles based on size, shape, and composition, helping identify sources such as industries, vehicle emission, combustion process, and dust. Thus, SEM remains an indispensable tool in environmental science for pollution treatment and source identification. Now we are going to next page.
Now I will explain the sampling process used in the selected studies. The main purpose of sampling was to collect representative particulate matter sample for analysis using scanning electron microscopy or SEM. Different sampling methods were used depending on the type of sample and the objective of each study. In the study by Aragon Pina et al. 2000, airborne particles were collected using high-volume air sample fitted with fiberglass filters. The sampling was carried out at 5 urban locations located near copper and zinc smelting industry in San Luis Potosi, Mexico. Each sampling session lasted for 24 hours to ensure that enough suspended particles were collected from the atmosphere. Next, Liczynski et al. 2010 collected particulate matter samples from various urban environments, including high-traffic roads, residential areas, and industrial zones. Polycarbonate membrane filter with a pore size of 0.6 micrometers were used to capture airborne particles. The research also collected samples near vehicle exhaust emission and street dust to identify different sources of particulate pollution. Meanwhile, Jayashankar et al. 2040 focused on agriculture waste materials such as peanut shell and banana peels. These samples were collected from domestic and agriculture areas around Bangalore, India. Before analysis, the samples were carefully cleaned to remove dust and other contaminants that might affect the result. Overall, the sampling procedure were designed to obtain representative samples from different environmental conditions. This step is important because the quality of the collected sample directly affects the accuracy and reliability of the SEM analysis.
I will explain the sample preparation process for scanning electron microscopy or SEM. Sample preparation is a very important step because the quality of the same image depends on how well the sample is prepared. In environmental pollution studies, proper preparation help maintain the original characteristic of the sample or prevent contamination or damage during analysis. The main objective is to ensure that the sample surface is clean, dry, and stable before observation. For airborne particulate matter, the particle collect on membrane or fiberglass filter are first dried under laboratory conditions to remove any moisture. Next, small section of the filter containing the trapped particles are carefully cut and mount onto aluminum SEM stops using conductive carbon type. Since most environmental samples are non-conductive, they can accumulate electric charge when exposed to the electron beam. To overcome this, the samples are coated with a thin layer of conductive material such as gold or gold palladium through a surface coating process. This coating improves conductivity, reduces image distortion, and produces a clearer SEM image. That's all.
I will explain the preparation of biosorbent material such as peanut shell and banana peels. First, the samples are thoroughly washed to remove dust, dirt, and other impurities. They are then dried in an oven and cut into suitable size for SEM analysis. After the heavy metal absorption experiments, the biosorbent are rinsed to remove any loosely attached metal ions and dry once again. The prepared samples are then mounted on SEM tube and coated with a thin conductive layer before imaging. This preparation process allows researchers to observe change in the surface morphology and confirm the presence of heavy metal attached to the surface and pores the biosorbent. In conclusion, proper cleaning, drying, mounting, and conductive coating are essential steps in SEM sample preparation. The procedure helps produce accurate and high-quality images, enabling researchers to study particle characteristics, surface structure, and pollutant interaction more effectively. Therefore, SEM is a valuable tool for environmental pollution monitoring and treatment studies.
Thank you to my teammate for that insightful breakdown. Moving forward, I will be present selection 4.0, which focus on analysis technique. Using the selected instrument, where our group is evaluating how scanning electron microscopy SEM was technically operated across our 3 selected journals. Starting with our first journal by NETL 2022, which investigating atmosphere PM2.5 pollution control in Beijing. The research utilized a higher performance GSM 6700F field emission scanning electron microscope FE SEM technically in instrument was operated at accelerating voltage of 15 kV, which a precisely controlled working distance of 8 mm. This higher resolution approach was highly critical because it allowed the team to clearly differentiate the microbiology, individual shape, and surface texture of fine particulate matter collected on the filters. Looking at our second journal by Dow ETL 2022, which focused on the water waste treatment through the absorption using modified lemongrass powder, a Phantom Pro X scanning electron microscope was employed, while they also optimized the accelerating voltage at 50 kV. The specific technique involved capturing micrograph at multiple magnification scales, specifically at 1000 and 3000 times, to document the structural transition to surface porosity. Furthermore, this specific SEM system was uniquely integrated with an energy dispersive X-ray spectrometer EDS to execute eliminator mapping before and after the absorption process. Finally, in our third journal by Tabedel ETL 2022 regarding the removal of heavy metal using a magnetic biochar composite, the microstructural imaging was carried out using a GeoJSM IT200 scanning electron microscope. Operating at the standard 15 kV voltage, higher resolution micrograph were captured at a magnification of 2000 and 5000 times. This particular analytical approach focused heavily on verifying the successful dispersion of iron oxide nanoparticles across the carbon matrix and evaluated how the porous spaces were operated after bending with heavy metal ions.
In the first journal, SEM analysis was used to identify particulate matter sources based on morphology. Two different types of particles were observed, indicating two different sources. Industrial particles were found to be elongated and spherical in shape, with sizes ranging from 0.5 to 1.5 nanometer. These particles were identified as fly ash formed from coal combustion at high temperatures, making them strong indicators of industrial pollution. In contrast, particles from geological sources show irregular, rough and sharp structures, reflecting natural mechanical processes. In the second journal, SEM was used to distinguish heavy metal particles with different morphologies, indicating various anthropogenic sources. Lead particles were commonly found as clusters of small spherical particles. Copper and iron particles were mostly smooth and spherical, suggesting formation from high temperature processes such as furnaces. Arsenic particles appear in octahedral crystalline form as arsenic trioxide. Meanwhile, nickel particles were porous and associated with sulfur and vanadium, resulting from fuel oil combustion. In the third journal, SEM analysis was applied to study bioabsorption using agricultural waste such as peanut shells and banana peels. The results show that both materials have microporous structures with many pores and surface roughness, providing a large surface area for heavy metal absorption. After exposure to metal solutions, morphological changes were observed, where metal ions were visible inside the pores and on the surface. These changes confirm the deposition and retention of heavy metals compared to untreated samples.
Next, I will compare the three journals based on the sample analyzed using SEM. The first journal studied particular matter from industrial and geological sources. SEM identified different empirical shapes returning to determine the pollution sources. The second journal focused on heavy metal particles in urban aerosol. SEM revealed different morphologies for lead, copper, iron, arsenic, and nickel particles, which had identified their origins. The third journal analyzed peanut shell and banana peel as biosorbent. SEM showed the porous surface structure that enhanced heavy metal absorption. In conclusion, although the samples were different, SEM was effectively used in all the three studies to analyze surface morphology and support the research objective.
In conclusion, scanning electron microscopy SEM is an important tool in environmental pollution studies. It helps researchers analyze the size, shape, surface characteristics of environmental samples.
Based on the general review, SEM is useful for identifying pollution sources and evaluating pollution treatment methods. Therefore, SEM plays a significant role in supporting environmental research and improving pollution control strategies. I think that's all from us. Thank you.